Hi, I'm Bankole Thompson. My wardrobe for Center Stage is provided by Fashion International, Metro Detroit's leading clothing men's store. Be sure to check it out for the best stylish and professional outfits. Welcome back to Center Stage. Let's bring back the roundtable. Community leaders speaking out, telling the other side of the story of Detroit that Dateline NBC would not give to you. Peggy Goodwin, Luther Keith, and Kenyatta Peoples. Kenyatta, let's talk about some of the success stories that your group, your organization, has been able to put out there.
Okay, there are so many success stories, but I know we only have a few minutes
to
really showcase those things. In particular, in the Cody Rouge neighborhood, we have a newly formed community council, which is the Cody Rouge Community Action Alliance. It's comprised of 17 individuals, 10 residents, 5 stakeholders, and 2 youth. So we actually have young people that sit on the council. We've recently also formed a faith-based alliance that's comprised of 13 pastors as well as church members that are working closely together. We've accomplished so many different things. We had the strategic plan completed in which we're focusing on economic development, strong families, high quality education, and community safety. So there's a lot of things that has happened within the past 2 years, in particular with the new council, our new president, Dr. Patricia Butler. She's a person that's actually worked in Detroit Public Schools, so she understands the whole school situation that's occurring now. And we were, last week in particular, we were actually going through a lot. We're trying to make plans complete. And the announcement about the school closure, we stopped everything and we organized and we got the people to come out to this community forum to speak with Robert Bob in reference to saving some of our schools. So.
Right. Peggy?
Well, I know with Vanguard Community Development Corporation, there's been a myriad of things that they've done for seniors, for youth. The Boys to Men program, which is also funded by the Skillman Foundation, is one example of that. And that really works with boys in high schools to keep them in school, to give them, if they're at risk, they can come to this program and they can get some resources for scholarship, for, studying, tutoring, all of that. So there's so many things going on. I don't know if you drive down I-75, Bishop Beggar Van just built Cameron Court for seniors. It's affordable senior housing, and it looks like luxury housing, quite frankly. But there's so much good in this community. There's law enforcement always collaborating together and working, breaking down their barriers, putting their egos aside and working together. You didn't see that in Dateline. You didn't see any of these community groups. The nonprofit environment is very challenging everywhere, but especially in Detroit right now. But there's nonprofit organizations and people coming together and working together, despite their fundraising competitions and all of that. And Kenyatta pointed that out. It's happening all over Detroit. I know I've worked with a lot of nonprofit groups, and it is happening, and there's so much good. And again, I go back to this societal sickness that we have of negativity, and I really believe that that like Luther said, there's an opportunity. The passion of the people will prevail in Detroit. I really believe that.
And I echo all of those. There's so many organizations I can't even name. Detroit Parent Network, Black Family Development, Alternatives for Girls. But I'd like to share one quick thing with you.
Sure.
There was a white colleague of mine at one point who asked me, why don't black people in Detroit care about education? And I said, what if I told you that last Saturday there were 4,000, mostly black, parents and their children at 8 o'clock in the morning at Coble Hall to sign their kids up for a program called DAPSET, Detroit Area Pre-College Engineering Program. What if I told you there were 4,000 of them there at 8 o'clock in the morning? He said, I never heard of it. And of course, many people in Detroit have heard of DAPSET. Is a tremendous program, one of our partners with the Rise Detroit. And that's just one example of the many, many opportunities. One thing we've done at the Rise Detroit, in addition to working with all of these groups that they have named, is that we've really tried to focus on neighborhoods. And one of the things we've done is created something called a Rise Detroit Neighborhood Today, the first Saturday of every August. The fourth one will be held August the 7th. And what we ask people in groups, block clubs, churches, to do something in your own neighborhood this day to showcase what you're doing to make a difference. Clean up neighborhoods, building homes with Habitat, health fairs, community picnics, sign up, volunteer programs. We started with 55 events in 2007, 100 2008, 140 last year. This year we hope to take it close to 200. And it's a great showcase because you can literally go into every neighborhood in this city and see what people are doing. And this is something unique to us. It shows what people now are doing on that day, but throughout the year. So we have a lot of great things to build on. And the tragedy of it is that Dateline could have shared this with the nation and chose not to.
So let me ask you, is it necessary? Is it important? Does it matter, in fact, for them to come back if they decide to and say they want to do
You know,
another
here's my
segment?
thing with that, if I may. They can come back or not, because they've showed their hand basically. And I don't think, we all have a pride. I don't think Detroit should grovel for Dateline. They've shown their hand.
Right.
We've got to. I still think it's on us to do our work first and foremost. So all the criticism of Dateline, I think they deserve it, but it's still going to come us to do our part. Keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Tell our own story, then somebody's going to figure out, we need to tell that story. So that's the way I would approach this. I feel invigorated. People like Peggy and Kenyatta and so many others, we're all on this page together. We know what this community is about. We believe in it, and we're going to move forward.
Peggy.
But is there an ethical responsibility? I mean, if you call your program Heartbreak and Hope, okay, where is the ethical responsibility in journalism to say, we've got 10 hours of footage of some stuff that we really could have balanced this out better. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like we can't control the media. That's not what this is about. This isn't about public relations trying to control it, although we try to control the message to some extent, but we do want, fair and balanced reporting. So where's the responsibility? I mean, is it up to them to come back and say, we made them? No, they're never going to do that. Right. Never going to do that. We know that. But ethically, I think there is a responsibility to tell,
Does it matter if they come?
It doesn't matter if they come, but what I would like to see, if the Michigan Chronicle or any other local TV stations is willing to come into the neighborhood to talk directly to the people that are on the ground, those grassroots individuals that are volunteering their time. The Don Bosco Hall Community Center, that's a newly formed under this initiative. Talk to the people that are actually in the neighborhoods instead of kind of organizing on their own. I think that would be very helpful if we can get that.
Well, that's why we're beginning that conversation right here on Center Stage on WADL TV 38 from the Detroit Public Library. Thank you all for coming in. Kenyatta Peoples, National Community Development Institute, Luther Kidd, Arise Detroit, and Peggy Goodwin, Public Relations Consultant, works with different community organizations. That brings us to the end of this week's edition of Center Stage. We promise that we will bring you, in fact, the conversation, more in-depth conversation around the Dateline NBC Hatchet job, which we brought for you this afternoon. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.